Hello MotoGP fans. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Aprilia Racing's technical director, Fabiano Sterlacchini, has outlined the team's progress, priorities for the second half of the season, and his view on Pecco Bagnaia's arrival for 2027. Sterlacchini frames Aprilia's recent gains as the product of a maturing package and a methodical development process, while admitting there are specific areas that still need attention as the team prepares for a new era with a proven champion joining the fold. Pecco Bagnaia has taken his first laps since surgery on his right forearm, joining Valentino Rossi and fellow VR46 riders at Misano for a light training session. The outing was cautious and measured, a step in recovery rather than a full test, but it offered a glimpse of Bagnaia's rehabilitation progress and the supportive environment of Rossi's academy. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Sterlacchini describes the first half of the year as a clear step forward. Aprilia's package, refined through late-season gains last year and continued development this year, has delivered improved performance and consistency. The team credits both technical evolution and rider development for the progress, stressing that the bike and the riders must be pushed together to extract peak performance. It's been a great first part of the season. Our performance improved significantly during the latter part of last year. Sterlacchini frames success as systemic. Hardware, setup processes, and rider coaching are all part of the same growth story rather than isolated wins. Sterlacchini emphasizes that a strong bike still requires riders to interpret it correctly. Different riders extract performance from different parts of the machine. Matching rider strengths to bike characteristics is an ongoing task. Aprilia's approach is to refine setups and coaching so each rider can exploit the package across all track conditions. Balance between bike and rider interpretation is central to consistent results. This is a practical admission that development is not only about parts, but about tailoring the machine to human variability across a race weekend. Despite progress, Sterlacchini is candid about limits. The team has likely reached a competitive edge but must continue pushing to remain consistent across different circuits. He highlights front-end behavior as a specific concern, citing Barcelona as an example where the front was pushed to the limit, and the team struggled. We clearly know that it's never enough on the bike. So that's the main thing we have, and we have to keep pushing to evolve. The admission pinpoints a classic development trade-off. Extracting more performance often exposes new weaknesses that must be resolved before they cost race results. Sterlacchini praises Aprilia's negotiating skill and frames Pecco Bagnaia's signing as a natural fit. He stresses that Bagnaia's 3 world titles make him an easy figure to trust, and that a fresh project can reinvigorate a rider coming through a rough patch. Aprilia sees Bagnaia as both a technical asset and a motivational catalyst for the team. It's super easy to trust Pecco because, after all, he's a 3-time world champion. The tone is diplomatic and forward-looking. Aprilia positions itself as a stable platform for a champion seeking a new challenge rather than a rescue operation. Bagnaia's arrival will shift Aprilia's development priorities and expectations. A rider of his caliber brings precise feedback and high standards, which could accelerate chassis and tire work and influence setup philosophies. The team will need to reconcile its existing package with Bagnaia's riding style, while maintaining the progress of current riders. Bringing a top rider can change a team's trajectory quickly, but it also raises the bar internally. Success depends on how well engineers and riders translate feedback into usable gains. Fabiano Sterlacchini presents Aprilia as a team on the rise that remains hungry for improvement. The combination of a refined package, disciplined development methods, and the incoming experience of Pecco Bagnaia sets a clear ambition for 2027. The challenge will be converting incremental gains into consistent race results while integrating a new lead rider's demands. If Aprilia manages that balance, the team could move from steady progress to genuine title contention. If not, the season will be a test of whether the project can scale under championship expectations. Valentino Rossi invited several current MotoGP riders to the Misano circuit during the championship break. The VR46 Riders Academy posted images showing Pecco Bagnaia, Franco Morbidelli, and Luca Marini riding street-legal machines while Rossi circulated between the pits and the track. The session served both as light training and as a chance for riders to stay sharp during the 2-week gap before Silverstone. The outing was informal and focused on recovery, feedback, and rider camaraderie. These academy sessions are as much about mentorship and exchange of riding insight as they are about seat time. Bagnaia returned to 2 wheels for the first time since undergoing surgery to treat compartment syndrome in his right forearm. He limited his track time to an afternoon run and took fewer laps than Marini and Morbidelli, prioritizing medical guidance and a gradual return to load-bearing activity. This was a measured test rather than a performance outing. The priority is safe rehabilitation. Post-operative track outings are typically conservative, short stints, careful monitoring, and no aggressive pushing until medical clearance and confidence return. Riders at Misano use street-legal 1,000 cubic centimeters motorcycles rather than MotoGP machines, in line with regulations that restrict private testing on race bikes. Modifications such as removing mirrors or changing suspension and exhaust are permitted, but the fairing shape and production dimensions must remain unchanged. Tires must be those approved by the FIM technical director. Training bikes mimic performance but remain production-based to comply with testing rules. These constraints let riders practice high-speed riding and set up feel without contravening official test restrictions. Valentino Rossi spent time talking with each rider in the pits, sharing feedback and discussing riding feel. His presence turned the session into a learning opportunity, veteran perspective, technical conversation, and mental preparation alongside physical training. Rossi's mentorship adds technical insight and psychological support to recovery and development. For riders coming back from injury, the combination of measured riding and experienced guidance accelerates confidence rebuilding. The post-surgery outing comes amid broader changes in the paddock. This year riders still use Michelin tires for non-race training, but the championship will switch to Pirelli in 2027 and move to 850 cubic centimeters machinery. Those shifts will affect development paths and how riders prepare in the off weeks. Equipment and tire changes on the horizon add another layer to how riders manage training and recovery. Transition years require careful planning from riders and teams to balance rehabilitation, adaptation to new hardware, and competitive readiness. Pecco Bagnaia's cautious return at Misano is a positive sign in his recovery timeline. Short, supervised laps with Rossi and academy teammates allowed him to test the forearm without overreaching. The session underlined the value of the VR46 environment for both technical exchange and morale. Over the coming weeks, Bagnaia will likely increase intensity only as medical clearance and comfort allow, while the paddock prepares for equipment changes that will shape training and development into 2027. If rehabilitation proceeds smoothly, Bagnaia should be able to resume full race preparation in time for the second half of the season. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!